All right, what's up, everybody? This is the Horrorheads podcast. I am Rich Mallery here with my co-host Jerry Lourenco.
Man, it's been a marathon.
Yeah. So this is part two of our totally 80s killer movie episode. If you listened last time, we covered Night of the Demons and Intruder. This episode, we're going to talk about Slumber Party Massacre and Chopping Mall. And if I seem a little bit out of it, it's because we've already been doing this for 2 hours. I am really hammered. We just played a really crazy drinking game, which isn't over yet. So how we ended the last episode, which was 5 minutes ago, but that's how we ended it, was Jerry asked a trivia question about Slumber Party Massacre that is worth 10 sips.
Damn.
I get it right. Jerry drinks 10 sips. He gets it right. I'm sorry. I get it wrong. I drink 10 sips. I am fading fast, but we're going to get through it. So Jerry, why don't you ask that question again? And I am going to contemplate the answer.
Yep. To bring everyone back in, we are on the bonus question of a heavy progressive sips trivia. And what I had mentioned in the last episode is that this question is not about this film, but it's about this film. So it's a little crazy. And the bonus question was for 10 sips. And it's a big part of this film is cordless drills did not exist in 1982. True or false?
Wow. And like the whole movie, the guy's using a cordless
drill. And you don't really think about it, but it's like
it seems odd that they wouldn't have a cordless drill in 82. Like, it doesn't seem like that's like that new technology, but I'm gonna say cordless drills did not exist in 82 when this film came out. For 10 sips, I'm going to say, I forget if it's true or false, but I'm going to say that they did not exist.
So you're saying it's true. Cordless drills did not exist. Okay,
yeah.
True. Okay. So cordless drills came out in 1960.
What the fuck? I literally was like, nah, they had to have had them, but I was like, I thought you tricked me. Oh, 10 sips.
10 sips, bro. 10 sips.
I gotta pour a little bit more.
My God. Listen, dude, I don't even believe it. I'm gonna be honest with you because I never seen anyone charging like any sort of batteries in the 80s. I mean,
my dad didn't have one. I know that.
Yeah, who was recharging anything in the 80s? So had this guy have this giant drill, like would he plug it in? Like where's the charger? But
yeah, right. How long does that battery last?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. 10 sips right here.
But I confirmed it with Google and with Gemini AI. So it's the 1960s. Cheers.
This sucks.
I'll take a sip with you because that sucked. But to remind everyone,
hold on, that was 5. Hold on, I'm not done.
Okay. To remind everyone, I took about, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I took 10 sips right before this.
And this has been a long night. We've already reviewed 2 movies. We've played 2 drinking games now, and so to kick off that trivia, last part of trivia, and I'm stumbling now. Jerry held up 3 cards, 1, 2, and 3. One of which had, and I had to pick which one, and that was the one we were going to talk about. I'm sorry, that was the one the game was going to be about. I picked number 3, which was Slumber Party Massacre. What were the other 2?
Do you want to know what number 2 was? So number 2 was Chopping Mall.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad I didn't pick that one because that one I don't know as well. What's the other one?
And as I mentioned before, that one of these were filmed that we're not reviewing tonight that you've just seen in general. So that would be number 1. And this is a surprise to me because I did not label these. I want to be just as surprised as Rich was. And this was Saw X.
Oh, you know what? I probably would. You know what? Who fucking knows at this point? We'll never know.
You didn't watch it in the last 2 weeks. So.
No. And look, I did pretty good on that game up until the question that really mattered. So
yeah, that was pretty good. I think my Saw X questions, I mean, they're very, very similar to like the questions for Slumber Party Massacre. They're a little obscure, so they weren't like the obvious. So I don't know how you would have did on that.
Burn them, and let's not like.
so that was it, man. That was the craziest progressive sips trivia, and it ended up completely equal We both
Oh,
just did 10 sips.
that was a 10. That was a hard 10, man.
10 sips and two movies to talk about. Ugh.
All right. Well, let's keep talking about movies.
Let's do Slumber Party. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to talk about Slumber Party Massacre from 1982. I'm going to give the plot of it really quick, and there really is not a big plot. The plot is a female high school student's slumber party turns into a bloodbath after a newly escaped psychotic killer wielding a power drill prowls her neighborhood. And yeah, basically this killer gets out of, he escapes from prison or something like that. And then he just stalks a bunch of people with a power drill. Really no reason why. He's just a crazy guy with a power drill. And I will say the power drill is one of my favorite weapons, and he's got a really large drill, and it's very phallic. And there's,
Yeah.
certain shots, like there's the one shot where his like legs are spread and the drill's like between his legs. That's like the
Iconic
iconic
shot.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I know we used to watch this movie a lot back in the day, so I was wondering if it held up. And what's great is I watched it, I think, on Prime,
Mm,
and it looks like they've remastered it because it looks really good. And I
sharp.
remember I
Yeah.
just had like a VHS copy, and I remember always watching this movie thinking the quality was terrible. Now that I'm watching it, I'm like, it looks good. Like it looks new. It looks fresh, which really helped me kind of like get into this movie because it. I liked it. It's cool. It's a fun movie. I see why early in our horror journey we watched this a lot. It has everything, right? It's got the nudity, it's got like a bunch of like girls like getting killed at a slumber party, it's got like high body count. I think you said 12 was the body count.
High body count,
Great
crazy weapon.
weapon. Yeah,
Yeah.
the killer's really cool, and the killer doesn't even
Cool.
say he doesn't even say
Say
anything until like
nothing.
the end of the movie. The music, it's got that 80s synth creepy music that's really good. It starts off kind of with a bang. Like it doesn't this doesn't really like there is like a little bit of dead time after like the opening 10 minutes, but it kind of gets you right into it. Yeah, really, the dialogue I think is really good and funny. There's some really funny moments, and like it's just little things like again, like she's reading a Playgirl with Stallone on the cover, which is really funny. Like it's just like who's reading a Playgirl? Like it's just like kids. If someone saw
Some
that now, they
curious
wouldn't know what
teens.
that. If
Yeah.
someone saw that now, like for the first time, Gen Z, they'd have no idea what that was, right? But for like us, it's like
It's
that's so silly.
hysterical. I mean, honestly, it was probably like the funniest thing to see as like a teenage boy. And you're like, oh, girls do that? And you're just like, it was crazy. Honestly, I mean, this movie is thin as thin gets. We're not going to have a lot to talk about here as far as like plot twists, red herrings, and you know,
No,
um, any sort of character development. This is really about let's take like some nudity, let's take some kill bait, and let's just kind of throw it in a blender and see what happens. And it's shocking that this film is actually directed from a female,
right?
and there's just so much just like over the top nudity in this film. It's just like they were just standing around. They're like, I don't think there's enough. What else can we do to kind of like up the nudity in this film? And that's what they did. It's just completely over the top, and I think everything was over the top in this film, whether it's the nudity and the kills. And it is fun, man. This is like if you want to watch like a film with friends and you just want to laugh and just like point at all the stupid shit, this is it. This is exactly that type of horror movie. And you'll never ever ever see a horror movie like this today. It's
No,
impossible.
they'd never make this movie
Yeah,
now. Oh, they did. They've remade it, right? And it was
and
a
it was
piece of
awful. It
shit.
was
Yeah, yeah.
awful.
They won't make a movie. It is. It's again better than it should be, right? Because it
Yeah.
is just like it's very thin. There's not a lot happening. It's really just a guy in a drill randomly killing a bunch of people. But it is really well done. They did a really good job with it. And yeah, the director was a woman, Amy Holden Jones, which is like wild because of like I would have never imagined that. And especially these kind of movies are
In the
like, oh,
early 80s.
they're so against women, and but a
Yeah.
woman directed it, and I'm not sure if he produced it or he was involved, but Roger Corman, the famous Roger Corman,
Yeah.
was very involved in this movie. And I was even reading that the original ending has like the killer killed in like the living room, and
Yeah.
he really liked it, and he's like he gave her more money to make it like a bigger ending, so they added like 20 minutes to the movie
Oh, that's
because he
awesome.
really dug it and like wanted to support. Amy Holden Jones, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, the movies again, it's like the other movies we're talking about, it's much better than like it should be. Like, because there's so many of these like 80s movies that came out like with a slasher, and like there's a lot of them that aren't very good, right? They're just low quality. But this had like it was good filmmaking for what it was. Um,
And he should
you
have
know,
got more play as like a killer. He's not talked about in the canon of slashers and those iconic, Freddy's and Jasons and stuff like that. I mean, his name is Russ. Maybe that's why his name's Russell. But I mean, since this film, no one else has taken a giant drill and just like ran riot with it. Like this guy just decided he was just going to attack this party, and that's what he does. And luckily, there was a whole bunch of people there for him to attack, and nothing really happens. It's like he's just a relentless killer. We don't know why he chose them. Maybe he just happened to catch them leaving school and he followed them home. Like there's no like rhyme or reason why he does it. And to me, that just makes it like so much more sadistic and so much more crazy. And I just really wish he got a lot more credit maybe as being like one of those iconic killers, because I mean like you said, he was cool. Like he doesn't talk. He just goes out and he kills. And I mean, that's scary, And
yeah,
E2,
and the
that's
actor that played
scary,
him like is really like when they just show his
creepy.
face and stuff like that, he's just locked in.
He's
Like
creepy. He's
he's
creepy as
really
hell.
intense.
Yeah.
And I think he probably didn't get play because again, I think this movie's underrated because it falls into that like, oh, it's just exploitation, etc. But I also think because like, he gets hacked up in the end, right? So he's not coming back. And they did make two sequels where he's not
Mhm.
in, which I don't remember those at all. I've seen them, but I don't think I remember liking them. But I think if they
There was
would
a
have like,
guitar in one, wasn't there?
yeah, the second
Yeah.
one, that's the second one.
Yeah.
I think if they would have like not killed him off and maybe brought him back, maybe he could have been like a little bit more
Yeah,
of
they
like
brought
a
back
more
his
iconic.
spirit though. I think like in the
Does he possess somebody or
yeah,
something? Is
he
that what happens?
possesses people, and they become
Not the
like
same though. It's
like
not the
it's
same.
it's not the same, but the premise is the same. There is a drill, and
Mhm.
I think a drill is a great weapon. And
Absolutely.
I think the name of this movie, Slumber Party Massacre. Oh my God, like shit. It's
It
like
tells you what it is. Like,
it's
yeah.
so perfect. It is so 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 perfect. Especially like in 82. Like you nailed it. Like you nailed everything. You nailed the name, you nailed the characters, you nailed the weapon, the killer. It's like I just wish that this had a lot more exposure. And it probably is because it is thin. And I guess people may say they watch horror for other elements, but I
Yeah,
think
sure.
as young guys back in the day, I know exactly why we were watching, this type of film, and it's because it was like a sorority house, and
Yeah.
there was it was a lot of nudity, which is always like fun, and there was a lot of gore and blood, and the kills were just like crazy. I mean, they were crazy, and you're just like, my God, it's like it's a drill, but I'm like, oh,
That was
it's like.
that was the other thing too. So like you watch a lot of these 80s slasher movies and like other than like Halloween basically or even that, but like they use like different weapons. Like
Yeah,
Jason kills someone different every time. This one it's literally just the
just
drill,
the
but
drill.
every time it's like,
It's like,
"Oh."
what the hell,
Because when you
man?
think about a drill like, if it goes into your head, cool. If it goes to the heart, cool. But a lot of times, like I got you in the shoulder, and then I gotta like get
It's
you
just,
again.
yeah,
It's
like
like
it's
it's a tough weapon to
torture.
kill people with. Like it's
And it's
yeah,
torture, but also it's quite terrifying if you're on the opposite end of that drill. The guy had like a 36-inch drill bit, so that guy had some distance where he could like tag you from like
yeah.
quite a few feet away. So, I mean, it was terrifying. And what I always found funny with it is it is the cordless drill, and it kind of spins slow. Like it doesn't like it's not like a modern thing. It's not like like it's
Yeah.
just it's like kind of slow. So you're like,
Makes it worse,
oh
right?
my
Yeah.
God. It's like this is going to hurt. This is going to be torture. And that's exactly what happens to every single person that gets caught by this drill. It's just, it's brutal at times. It's really funny at times. I mean, the dialogue isn't going to like envelop you and wrap you into like
No.
a crazy story. I mean, they order a pizza. That's fun. I always love when they order pizza
And they have a
in
six pack for
films.
four
Yeah.
girls. Like,
Yeah,
we're gonna
this,
get beer tonight. Like six
no,
girls, four girls, six beers.
there's a couple of peeping toms, and they got some beer. So there's
Oh
like some
yeah,
teen
and that was funny too.
hijinks.
It's like two boys like in high school guys like and they're probably seniors and they're on bikes,
Yeah, they're just like,
riding their
man,
bike.
let's go see the girls, and the dudes are definitely like super lame. And again, that's so typical for slashers around this time. You have to stack it. You have to stack the deck with a bunch of like women that you want to see naked and a bunch of dudes you want to see get killed. And I haven't said that in a long time. I think I probably said that at like the first or second episode we ever said, and that's really like the foundation of like a cast of a slasher film. It has to be to make you like root for it and be like, yes, let's do this. And they got that. They got that right again, and it was just this movie's fun. I mean, there's really
It's fun.
not too much to talk about as far as like details, but I do think that there's a lot of funny scenes. You mentioned the Playgirl, and I mean I think that girl that was like curious was probably like, I don't know, she was younger, so she's probably like 13 or
Yeah, it's just
14 or
yeah.
something like that. And so that was funny, and she was like trying to like, go get like the guy's attention next door because her sister did her makeup, and I just thought that was like super funny. And then like some of the buildups to like the kills, it's like one girl goes outside to get firewood. It's like, isn't this like spring in California? Like, why are you
And
going
no one has
outside?
fireplaces in California, like.
Yeah, it's like, why? Like, this is clearly California. There are palm trees everywhere. I know this is California. Um, it looks hot. Everyone's wearing shorts. It's like, oh, let's go get some firewood. It's like, why are you getting firewood right now in the middle of the night? I thought that was funny. I thought that one bitchy girl, Diane, when she can't leave
Mm.
because she's hanging out at the party. So she just invites her boyfriend over. And like, what do they do? Instead of leaving, they just pull into like the friend's garage so they can
Yeah.
like hook up. And I thought that was like the funniest thing in the world. I'm like, this girl don't want to leave, but man, she got some nerve pulling into her friend's parents' garage so she could hook up.
I
And they
mean,
and they get killed.
yeah, of course they do. Yeah, a couple of funny things that I wrote down about this movie, and you mentioned it when we were talking about Intruder. Like you love when, people get killed, and then later, like there's a recap of like
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
killer, and they do it a couple times. There's one time where the killer is like putting bodies in the trunk, and he like counts them. And he realizes he
Yes.
forgot one, and there's like someone still alive. He's like one, two, three. I thought that was really funny. And then this is the other scene where he puts one of the bodies in like the fridge, and the girl's going to like get a beer or put a beer back, and she opens it and doesn't look and is talking, and then shuts it, and then she opens it again and is like talking, and then shuts it, and then opens it a
Yuck.
third time, and then she finally sees it. But we see the body in there.
We
I thought
see
that
it
was
the
really
whole time.
funny.
Clever, clever, clever stuff for like when you don't think it's going to be clever. Super, super funny. I love that. Yeah, those are definitely some like top scenes right there.
Yeah, and a couple of just some facts about the movie. It is the first credited role for Brink Stevens, who I was a
Okay.
big fan of in the 80's, big scream queen there. And apparently she was going to be one of the leads, but she had like a modeling gig and had to do something else. So she's only in the movie for like the first 5 minutes. She basically gets naked and gets killed. But she went on to have like a really big career in horror. And one thing that she said in an interview was in that opening shower scene,
Oh
and
yeah.
she said that most of the girls didn't want to show their boobs, so they all taped up their nipples. So most of the scenes are you see their butts, so you see them from behind. And she was one of the only people that was like, "Yeah, I'll show my tits. I don't really care," because she had done nude modeling. And I thought that was really interesting because it's like, and as a kid, I feel like I thought I saw a lot more than I did. And I watched it now, I was like, okay, but I remember being like, it was like I remember thinking like, oh, there's this iconic like shower scene. There's a lot of girls in the shower, but it's not as like it's not as I remember it basically, but
I mean, there were a lot of people in that shower and a lot of people in the locker room, and again, that's just like
but
one
you
of those
don't really see a
instances.
lot of the nudity. Like a lot of
Yeah,
it's like to your imagination, which as a kid I don't remember that.
but that's how they
Um,
start the film, so it's really hard to go wrong
oh, I'm
after
not
that.
complaining at all. Yeah.
They do that. So I thought that was kind of it's like how do you go wrong?
And then
Um,
speaking of the girl in the car making out, so they're
yeah, Diane, yeah.
yeah, so the actress actually said she wasn't going to show her breast. She refused to do it.
Mm.
The director, Amy Holland Jones, got kind of pissed off. She's like, what am I going to do? Like, we got to shoot this scene. So she just said she offered to pay any of the other actresses if they would let them shoot just like a close up of their
And
tit.
that's what it
And
was, yeah.
yeah, and someone volunteered. She said, fine, like just shoot me. I'll take the cash or whatever. So I thought that was really funny. But like the actress who refused to do it, like now everybody thinks that's her tits. So like
Oh,
she ended up
so
getting
what's the point?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because her family and friends are like, oh, like they all thought it was that too. So like she might as well have just done it, right? She could like, but
Yeah, that was
um,
like a super, super close up. I mean, it was like really, really tight. Like it was like a good feel up in the car.
yeah, it was because the other actress like did she refused to do it, so they like paid someone else to
Wow,
do it.
that is really interesting. I had no idea that that kind of drama was going on the set.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah. I
when
mean,
you
look,
know what kind of film this is. Like you're getting involved with a film like this.
it's called Slumber Party
It's called
Massacre.
Slumber
Yeah,
Party Massacre, and you're reading the script, and you're like, oh, there's probably gonna be some sort of nudity in this film.
yeah.
So, like, I'm surprised that like everyone kind of just didn't go in like knowing like what was gonna happen. So that's
Yeah, like
interesting.
I don't know if like she like knew about it and then changed her mind because that happens, especially in these like smaller,
Yeah,
like lower budget movies. People are like, nah, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore, and then you're fucked. You're like, well,
I
what am
can
I gonna do
imagine.
now? Like we're here, like we already shot you. I can't replace you now. Like it's too late. So I'm not really sure what happened, but that's that. Another funny moment. They do this I've seen this in a ton of movies where like someone's trying to find like a weapon to like get the killer. They try different things. Like first she grabs like a hammer, then she grabs like the circular saw, and of course the cord doesn't reach, so she's got to like find something else. I find stuff like that really funny.
Yeah, I definitely like that. I love the cord that doesn't reach because cordless
Were
drills were
invented in
invented in the
1960.
60s. So they should have access to non-corded equipment. And I think you mentioned it before, like during the game. I mean, obviously, I think one of the funniest parts of the film is when the killer pretends to be the pizza delivery guy and he's at the door and they ask him, like, what's the damage? And he's like, six so far. And like the guy's just like, $6. All right, whatever, done. Not even realizing that it's the killer. And I think that's super funny. So I mean, again, just clever where you don't expect clever to be.
Yeah, and then they push the pizza delivery guy, and his eyes are like been drilled out or whatever. But it also makes me think like, damn, pizza was $6 back in the 80s. Now it's like 40 if I order it.
Christ, man, $6. Like I feel like pizza was like $10 not that long ago, but now,
Yeah, like 40,
like I,
40
I don't I don't know what it
dollars.
goes for in California, but you could probably get a plain pie here for like 25 bucks, you know.
And that pizza looked good. I think it was like sausage. I
It
forget,
did
but
it,
it
it
looked
did
good.
it did look good. I mean, if anyone wants to write in and tell us what pizza cost in their neighborhood, we'd love to hear that. I'm saying it's about $25 for a regular pie over here
I
in New York.
wish. I
Yeah.
wish. And add
Yeah.
on $15 in Grubhub fees or Uber Eats or whatever. Yeah, 25 for the pizza, and then to get it delivered is a whole nother
Get
thing.
delivered. They probably gave that
Um,
guy like a quarter tip. Now
yeah.
now I gotta give the guy $13 and he's going 4 blocks. It's like, bro, I'm just lazy. I could have got it myself, but
Oh, the other note I
I
had is like
digress.
at one point they're drinking Kool-Aid, and I'm like, oh, that looks really good. Like I kind of want
Hmm.
some Kool-Aid. I haven't had Kool-Aid in like 20 years.
They definitely focused on some beer in here. I forgot what kind of beer they had. It was something like Michelob or something like that.
I didn't
It
make a
was
note
like,
on that.
yeah, it was like really like I started getting a little thirsty. I'm like, man, that's what they're drinking. It's like I think they had like Budweiser and Michelob. I think they had two different types.
But that
Oh,
joint they roll of the Maui Wowie is like the
the Maui
thinnest joint
Wowie.
I've ever seen. Like that is, I'm watching this and I'm like, that is a tiny ass joint, like for four people.
For all these people. I
Yeah.
mean, I think my biggest question about this film is, the gym teacher. I
Yes.
don't
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah. The
She's just like
coach.
she's just like a coach that gets killed for no reason, has nothing to do with anything that's going on other than just being bait for the killer. It's like she's cooking something in her house. What the hell was she cooking? Like I couldn't tell what it was. It
Oh, I
was
don't
some
know.
sort of like cheese quesadilla with prune juice. Like I couldn't tell.
Ah.
I'm like, what is she making? I don't know what kind of brown substance she was like pouring into like the pan to make like I guess what looked like a quesadilla to me. I could be way off, but I just couldn't get past that. And I'm like, what the hell is she eating? And she should probably die, and she does. So
Yeah, it's just funny too because like this guy kills a lot of people, and it's just like how does he like get more people to kill? And it's like, oh yeah, the coach of
the
their like
coach,
volleyball team just happens to show up at this house, right? And he
yeah,
does something really clever that like while I'm watching it, I'm like, this is like what's happening? Like he hides under like a blanket in the middle of the room, and like the coach walks in and just like he just rises up from the blanket. But it was like I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? It's so silly, but it works. It really does
that's what
work.
I'm talking about. Poor hiding. This is exactly what I'm
Yeah,
talking
he's
about.
hiding. He's just laying under a
It's like
blanket in the
underneath a
center of the
blanket.
room.
Yeah, it's like that's not a very good hiding place. Yeah, that's super funny. And yeah, I mean, I don't have too much more to say about this
Yeah,
film.
I got
Except
nothing
I
else.
enjoyed
Just
it. It's a fun watch. It's an easy watch if you got like 88 minutes to kill in your day and you just want to watch something mindless, you want to watch something fun, something stupid, and something that's still, I would definitely say this is a horror film. This is
absolutely.
a definite slasher film. Like this is the foundation of slasher. It definitely checks all those boxes and really adds in the fun element in a non cheesy way. It's like it's teens. It's like the foundation of teen horror, and somehow in the 90s they really messed that
They
that that
fucked it
feeling
up.
up. They
Yeah,
really
yeah.
messed that feeling up because it really came back hard in the 90s. But in the 80s and films like this, like Slumber Party, Sorority House, all like Massacre, all those things, like they did them right. Like they actually did them right, and they were still fun. Uh, I wish they made movies like this now. And I did see the remake, and I turned it off immediately because it was horrific.
Yeah, no, I did too. I watched it and I was like, I couldn't finish it. But look, here's the thing. Like, I know I loved this movie like many, many, many years ago. I had stopped watching it for some reason, and I think I just kept remembering, like I said earlier, the quality of it. And I'm so happy I rewatched it because now this one's back in my rotation. Like, it holds up. It's like way better than like it should be, and then I thought it was. So, yeah, I have nothing else really. Let's rate this fucker. So what we do on this show, if we rate movies 0 to 5. The number of I'm fucked up. So we rate these movies on a scale of zero to
Sorry,
five
everyone. Can
bloody
you feel
knives,
it?
0 to 5 bloody knives, zero being the worst, five being the best, and the number of bloody knives I give a movie are the number of sips Jerry needs to drink, and vice versa. Yeah, we've been already recording for a couple hours now. I've been drinking for a while, so excuse me, but I'm gonna give this movie a 4. Which I'm sorry, but I'm giving it a
Wow.
4.
Wow. Okay. So this is real, and I'm well aware that I'm on camera right now. So we're trying to hold it together. We're like an hour.
Trying.
We're into hour 3 of this podcast here. So give us a break if you're watching this. But man, a 3, huh? Wait, would
Four,
you get 4?
four.
A 4? Oh wow.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie. I don't know if it's 4 for me. So I did like this. I do watch this. I don't know if I ever really gave it up. I have it on DVD. Try to watch it for the horror challenge usually. Let me be realistic here. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay, close, close.
I do like it. It doesn't feel like a 4 to me, but it's a lot of fun, and I was never mad after I finished watching this film, and I think that says a lot. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 bloody
Yeah, and
nose.
it's a tight 88. It's tight 88 minutes or whatever
That's
the
it.
runtime is. There's no
It's
doesn't drag.
close. It's like
So
80, 89.
yeah,
So there you go.
cheers.
Cheers.
Oh
Oh my
damn.
God. If someone could give us a running count on how many sips that we took tonight, I think we're hitting triple digits, but
I mean, look, we had 10 alone just on that drinking game. So,
well,
woof, this has been.
I had almost a full bottle of Crown
Oh
when I
shit,
started
that's
this.
that bottle's half empty, half empty,
Like
man.
there are like 2.5 inches missing from that bottle.
Yeah, at the very beginning, we're like, this is either going to be like a good idea or go horribly wrong, and I'm starting to think this is
I'm
going
starting to
horribly
think
wrong
it's gonna horror. Maybe we should
because
just jump in the shopping mall.
yeah, because we've done three movies before and we've survived that, but the fourth is what's going to be the. And I ran out of water, so now I'm just drinking whiskey.
Damn.
I usually drink water and tea, and
Mm.
that breaks up the drinking, and now both of those are gone, so all I'm drinking is the whiskey. So yeah, let's get into
Shopping mall.
Shopping Mall from 1986, and this is another one that I've seen it once before, but I'd never watched it in the 80's. I only watched it last year for your challenge for the first
Mm,
time, and I
yeah.
always avoided it because I always thought the idea of killer robots was kind of silly, but I gave it a chance and I did like it the first time. So this is a rewatch of me seeing it for the second time. I will give the plot of the movie really quick. A group of young shopping mall employees stay behind for a late night party in one of the stores, in a furniture store they kind of post up in. When the mall goes on lockdown before they could get out, the robot security system malfunctions and goes on a killing spree. And that doesn't really describe it. So basically, the mall they basically build these robot security guards, called like RoboCop. They're these like 4 foot tall robots that have lasers and like all kinds of ways to incapacitate people. And what they do is after the mall closes, they patrol. And if there's anyone really in the mall trying to break in, they are supposed to take them out, like put them to sleep. But these robots kind of malfunction and go haywire and are set to kill. And a group of horny, I guess, teenagers kind of like hangs out in the mall after it's closed to party. And these robots think they're intruders and try to kill them one by one.
Man,
Um,
that is
so
an
yeah,
insane premise for a film.
crazy
And just
premise.
real quick question: Who chose this one? Me or you? I don't remember because I
I
really enjoy
actually,
this film too. I don't remember who chose
so
this
I
one.
actually think I chose it,
Okay, okay.
I will say on the rewatch, I didn't like it as much as I liked it the first
Really?
time, and I'll get into why in a couple of minutes. I think the first time I watched it like a year ago, I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is like a
Yeah.
cool premise and like it's interesting and like it's kind of like action packed. I think the rewatch, it gets a little bit repetitive.
Okay.
And I started noticing because look, this movie's really low budget. It's really goofy. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's an up all night movie. But I think when I watched it, like for example, like there's lots of times where like the teenagers are like having shootouts with the robots and they're just exchanging gunfire and the robots are shooting all of these lasers, but like they all miss and it's like these robots have terrible aim. Like
Yeah, like
I feel
it's a
like
robot. It
yeah,
should
like, shouldn't
hit.
it have good aim? It seemed to get like a little bit repetitive, and especially it does get into final girl territory at one point too. I'm not saying I didn't like the movie, but I liked it less. But yeah,
Mm.
I did pick this one. So let me. So you said yeah, again, I know you told me to watch this movie.
Yeah.
So let's hear your thoughts on it, so I can
Man,
shut you up for a second.
I love this movie, and I'll tell you right now, please lock me in the mall with these robots because this was so much fun. Like this was great. I'm gonna ignore the fact that these teens, which again is another large cast, I think they're about eight, um, decided to throw this party the day that they basically established these robot like security guards are going to be on duty. So I don't know why they chose this particular day as opposed to like the week before. Like I would probably would have did that personally, but I think it is so fun and I think it is cool like concept having these robots that, you know, they kind of go haywire in like some sort of lightning storm and it just kind of ensues like all these crazy things like this party that these kids are having like they're drinking, they're basically getting naked and
It's not even
having
a party. It's
sex.
really just like
Like
there's four couples,
it's a
three
swingers
of
party, I
yeah,
would say.
four couples, three of them all just say like the fuck in like various parts of the furniture store.
A furniture
One
store.
one couple, which is great because they have beds, but one couple just decides to um watch a old horror movie.
Like,
And I will give you let's see, do you know the movie that they watched?
do I know the movie? Do I know the movie?
I'll do five sips if
Sci
you know the movie.
sci-fi film. Um,
It's a Roger Corman film, and he was actually involved in this one too, as well as several other.
oh, it was with the giant bugs, right?
Close.
I don't know it. I don't know it. I'll take the
Okay, never
five
mind.
sips.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, the movie was Attack of the Crab Monsters.
Oh, I don't know it. I'll take the
Oh,
sips.
you don't have to. Yeah, I mean, I was just like trying to get that, but I thought that's funny. It's like you have all these couples boning, and then like the nerdy couples like watching like a 1950s like sci-fi movie. It's like, come
But
on.
dude, it's a
I know, I get it, I
furniture
get it, I
store.
get
It's a
it.
furniture store. There's no walls, there's no
No,
nothing.
no,
There's a
no.
big glass like there's
Yeah,
a like anyone could see in, and they're basically throwing like this swingers party, and
it was an
everyone's just
orgy,
getting
basically.
like
Yeah.
completely naked. I mean, it's hysterical, the concept. And I think, just it was just so funny how like all this like played out. Like basically like this one girl, was it Leslie, I think? They just have sex and she needs cigarettes. She needs
Yeah.
cigarettes. So she sends like her boyfriend out, and he's like, I don't want to go out there and get it. But she's like, come on, just do it. And she like shows him some tit, and he's like, all
Yeah.
right, I'll do it. And that basically entices him to like leave the store. And now he's like basically walking around the mall, like practically naked. And like I like scenes like this where he's just like kind of like the mundane is happening, and he's just like walking around. He finds like the cigarette machine, and then he runs into like one of the robots, and he's basically like the first one to get it. And you're just like, the fuck kind of movie is this? Like I don't understand. Like this is too crazy. And at times these robots can be vicious, and at times they're kind of like ineffective, kind of like what you said.
Yeah, they're
Like
mostly ineffective, but like
like
when they
the
get to a one-on-one, they're
they're
effective, right?
good. Like they can
But
shoot
when
a
it's
laser, and when Leslie does find that guy, I can't think of his name, but
she
when
gets the
she does,
headshot. She gets the
like
headshot,
a
right?
headshot, and her head actually
It's
explodes.
super cool.
But
Yeah.
yet everyone else gets hit by these lasers, and nothing really happens to them. So it's like, are the lasers powerful? Are they not powerful? And it just kind of goes back and forth. And I think that just makes it really, really funny. And I love it. I love them like trying to like run from like these robots, and they're going into different types of stores. They're like hiding in a pizza place. They're hiding
It's
in
absurd, yeah.
like in a sporting goods store where they like pack up with like all the guns and stuff like that, which they
So before you
find
go on,
out.
I was gonna say I love in 80's movies a bunch of them have those scenes where like they do it in Dawn of the Dead, they do it in like
Yeah.
Commando, they do it in a bunch of 80's movies where like people enter a gun store and they just
It's
like
like,
load up
just
on
load up,
weapons.
just load up, man.
Every time they do it in a movie, I love it because like it's like fucking.
It's
Can
like
you imagine
Rambo.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
no,
can get
I would love to.
anything you
Yes,
want.
yes.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I am imagining it, and that's why I want
yeah,
to be in this
yeah.
mall. I would love to be like they need to make like some sort of like interactive game or something like that where
Like an escape room in a
yeah,
mall.
yeah, I could go into the mall, and I could actually live this, because it just looked like so much fun to me. And they're choosing like all these different weapons, and some of them are like really obscure and stuff like that. And there are times where these robots seem like you cannot defeat them. Like there's nothing you could do. They're shooting them with everything they got. They're like
Yeah,
throwing
they're
propane
unloading.
tanks
Yeah.
at them. They're going through fire, and nothing can stop them. So it actually makes you feel like it is an impossible task for them to actually survive this night. So I think that's probably where you think that it gets a bit repetitive, because they constantly are getting into like these gunfights, and they're battling these robots, and nothing is really happening. But for me, I'm just like, I kind of get sucked into it, and I'm like, how are they going to escape? How are they going to win this situation? And even though I've seen this film before, it always makes me think like, oh, what the fuck would I do? Or what are they going to do? I don't know. I just put myself in it. And I think that probably makes it a little bit more fun for me, because it's like, how are they? How do you kill them? Like, what do you do? You know?
Yeah, and I think again, like the first time I watched this movie, that was the mentality I had, and I was super
Hmm.
into it. I was like, "This movie's awesome!" I can't believe I slept on it for so long. The second time, I just might have been in a different headspace where I was kind of getting bored because again, it is a lot of the same kind of stuff. Um, but I think maybe like if it is going to be one that I rewatch again, and maybe it's just like the mood that I'm in. Just a couple of things. I remember when I was watching and I texted you like I worked in this mall. It's actually shot in the Sherman Oaks Galleria, and it's not really a mall anymore. There's still some stores, but they turned a lot of the buildings into office space, and one of my offices was in that. So it was so cool to like kind of see like I've been all over that place, so it was cool.
Did you
One
see the
thing,
cigarette dispensing
no,
machine?
they don't have those anymore, and there's no gun store either. No more
Damn
gun
it.
store, and no more
Oh,
furniture store.
damn it.
There's really not a lot of stores. There's like a cheesecake factory and like a gym, and that's about it. It's a movie theater. That's about it. But one thing I thought that was interesting is like, so they do say at one point that the robots can't enter the stores. And I remember just thinking, like, just post up in a store, you're fine. But at one point towards the end, the robot does enter the pet store to get the girl. But I remember thinking, watching this, I'm like, if I was there, I would just keep walking around in a circle. Like just keep doing loops because like they can't really hit you. At some point the robots are gonna run out of battery, right? So I would just kind of keep moving around until like they get tired. But
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on we get back to the rechargeable batteries and how these things
that
were generated. I'm going to say that they were nuclear power and they could have lasted all day. That's what
well,
I'm going to say. I
it's
want to
possible.
I want to
But
talk about those stores really quick for 1 second, and we dug a hole for ourselves tonight, basically with all these drinking games, stuff like that. I'm just gonna keep adding to it. I'm just gonna keep digging a hole deeper
fuck it,
because
fuck it.
like whatever. So right now I'm gonna do a true false question
Oh
for
fuck.
you
Okay.
about one of the stores that are in this mall that you have been inside. So true or false? The record store was called Licorice Pizza.
Yes, it was true.
It
That is
was.
true. That is true.
It's the one of the first shots of the film.
That is true. And I remember, I know like licorice peach is like a thing out here. It was because I know they made a movie about that, but
Hmm.
I didn't realize it was a record store. I never saw the movies, but I was like, I
It
was
had
looking
nothing
for
to
it.
do with the record store. I did see the film.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'll hit you with another
All
true
right, fuck
false
it. Let's
question
roll with it.
since I'm at it, man. I don't even have like notes on my screen. I actually have like handwritten notes. I got my notebook next to me for some reason today. That's where I was keeping these cards for that awful game that we just played. But Barbara Crampton, who is Leslie, she plays Susie Lynn in this film. She was in You're Next. True or false?
True.
It is true. She was the mother
Yeah.
actually in Your Next. So that's her. So the girl that gets naked in this film and basically takes part in this orgy and gets her head popped by the robot laser is the mother in Your Next.
Which we'll
I'll
have to
take
talk
my
about at
sip.
some point because I love that movie. So again, when you watch these 80s movies and they always do the thing where someone's getting like electrocuted or the lasers, and it
Yeah,
was like this really bad animation because they didn't have CGI, and basically
didn't have anything.
they drew it onto the film. And you watch it now and it looks so bad. And I just wonder, like in the 80s, seeing this, did that look really
I
bad?
mean,
Or
you
did
tell
it
me you probably went to the fucking movie with your
but I was probably like
stepfather.
5, you know what I thought. I just wonder because you watch it now and it looks so cheesy and it's like hard to like get into. But and they did it in every movie. I mean, they did it in like a Star Wars movie where he's like electrical and it
I
looks
think it
really
was like
shitty.
seeing technology, though, personally. That's what I think.
It
I
was
think you're
new,
just
right?
like, wow, how did they show a laser in a film? I think,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
it
you
looked
probably
good at the
got, yeah,
time.
I think you probably got psyched by it because you like couldn't fathom how they could show a laser on a
Like that
screen.
was the only
So
way to do it. Was
it's
like
the
they
only way to
literally
do
drew
it.
it on.
Yeah. So I think people probably did get psyched or they weren't just bothered by it. And to me now, I just find it funny. Like I
Yeah,
really like it's hysterical
it's
to
not
me.
scary. It's just like
Yeah,
kind of funny and goofy
it's
and
just
hokey.
it's just really funny. And I think that's one of the main elements that I like about this film. I think the name of this film, and like you, it took me a long time to watch it. Maybe the name of this film kind of turned me off. I don't know why. It's not a bad name. It's just something about it didn't make me want to watch it. And then when I did finally watch it, and upon the rewatch, the way like this is camp, man. This is such
Hmm.
like this is so good, and the reason that it's just so stupid and it's dumb, and you can't make a film like this now, and you have to. enjoy these films from back then because you'll never see a film like no one will be brave enough to make a movie this shitty, which ends up being a good movie. Like
Yeah.
like that's the reality of it. And that's really like, the definition of camp is like they didn't want to make a shitty movie, but they made a shitty movie and they thought it was going to be amazing. And then like 20 years later, like this actually is amazing. Like this is a great film and I still like it a lot. I think it's funny. I like the robots kind of cruising around. I like every time that they see the robots, it's like the same exact thing happens every time. Like they scream and they
Yeah.
run and there's like a chase scene. And just like in what I talked about in one of the first films that we talked about, which seems like 100 hours ago, an intruder. Um, how come no one tried hiding from these from
Yeah.
these robots? You're in a mall.
They
What
went full assault mode. They didn't even think about that.
yeah,
There's so
like
many
you're in a
places to
mall.
hide.
How
You're
come
right.
how come you just wouldn't hide until like the next day when like the mall opened and someone's gonna be like, holy shit, what is happening in here? Let me turn off these robots. Like you could hide literally anywhere. And they didn't. They just kind of hidden dumb places if they did it like that like they sat places like they sat in the pizza place but they didn't really hide they sat in like the clothing store but they didn't hide. And I just thought that was really weird. And then the only time they do try to hide is during that final girl kind of sequence with Allison, and she tries to hide in what I would consider the worst place in the world, which was like half under like a shelf at the pet store, and like all those tarantulas escape, which was probably one of the most terrifying moments of this
Yeah.
film because I have arachnophobia and
That was
and
creepy. And they used real
yeah.
spiders too. There were real
Oh,
spiders crawling
no,
on her.
no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this right now. No. Pause right there. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it at all. I don't care what you paid me. I'm not letting these giant torrent,
So
and they were like this big too. They were
yeah,
like
it was gnarly. It
massive.
was unexpected too. So there's a couple of things I want to get to, but first about the hiding. And I agree with you. However, I will say that if these robots were to corner you in a
Mm.
hiding space, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, yeah, you're
So
right.
like
You're right.
if
I'll
you're
give you
hiding
that.
if you're hiding under the bed and the robot sees you, like you can't
Yeah,
fight
you're
back. So
screwed. Okay, I
I
get
think
that.
they made the right move trying to go on a counter, like go on an offensive to take them down versus like hiding because they would have been in trouble. Three things I just want to say before I forget. One is like you said, if they made this movie now, it would not be this. It wouldn't have the charm of it. I do know, I think James Wan was going to remake this at some
Oh
point.
no.
And again, maybe he would have made a good movie, maybe he wouldn't have. However, he wouldn't have made this movie, and it would have been a completely different experience, and we probably would hate on it. The other two things, one thing I think I watched this on Prime, and the cut of it they have has like the cigarette burns, which I thought was really cool because I haven't seen that in a long time. So it must be some print that they just transferred to
Mm,
digital. But I thought that
that's
was really
cool.
cool. And for those of you who don't know, if you when you went to the movies back in the day, movies were on reels, and there would be this little burn mark at the top right corners or one of the corners that signaled the projectionist to switch reels, and it was something very theatrical and like it was something you just noticed. And I haven't really seen that in a movie I saw on
Mm-mm.
digital, and I noticed that in this, which I thought
It's
was cool.
predominant. Yeah.
Yeah, you see it a bunch, which was super cool. It just brought me back to that 80's nostalgia to see that. And the other thing I will say is the title. And again, I agree with you. Chopping Mall definitely kind of was probably one of those titles where it's like, I don't really want to get into this movie. The original title that it was released under in theaters was called Killbots. That was the original title.
Hmm.
But the movie bombed, and they felt that it was because people thought it was more of like a Transformers like or like a kids movie, so
Oh.
they changed the title to Chopping Mall, cut 15 minutes, re-released it, and it became like a cult classic. But yeah, the original title was Killbots, and I agree, Killbots is even worse. Like I would
Killbots
never
is
see that.
worse. Chop. There is no chopping. Like
There's no
I just,
chopping.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like maybe that's where they blew it on this. Like you have to give this film a chance. You have to go into it like kind of open and not know what to expect. This movie is 30. 9 years old, and I watched it for the first time maybe couple years ago. So I did walk
Oh,
into
so you
this
slept on
like,
it too, like me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I walked into it kind of like not even knowing. Like I didn't even know there were robots in this movie. I
Oh,
just
I
like
did know that, and that's why I didn't want to watch it. I was like, oh, robots, that sounds lame.
I it with the title, I didn't get it, you know? I just didn't get it. And then I think when I did watch it, I liked it. You know, I like the robots, and I think robots are cool, and I think there isn't probably enough robots in horror. I don't think because it definitely like
I've never seen
overlaps
a
that
movie like
sci-fi.
this.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sci-fi horror like usually sci-fi horror is like one or two ways. It's like aliens or, something else, but it's rarely robots. And I just really thought is interesting that they went that way with this, and especially so early in the 80's to try to do something technologically advanced with such a low budget, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So it was definitely like out there. And I just you hear the name and it's like, oh, I don't know what this is about, but it sounds stupid. But I still I like it. And on this time when I watched it with a critical eye, I really liked it. Like I'm like I'm into this film. Like I think this film right now is like made its way into like my rotation, made its way into like my life, and I'm gonna keep watching it. And it's because like you don't see any like you just don't see anything like this ever.
You know what's interesting too is like you do see a lot of movies now or the past few years about how technology, like
Hmm.
horror that's based on technology, basically, and how
Like
technology is what's going to do us in.
like
And you did have,
companion, something like
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
look, you did have it in the 80's. Like there was like Terminator, and there was like RoboCop. There were movies like that, but there wasn't like like slasher
No,
type
yeah.
survival horror kind of movie about technology that I could think of. Maybe there was, I just don't remember it. But in the 80's, so this was very probably fresh for the time. And I think again they looked at it like again it's Roger Corman, right? So they're looking at like how do we take these like weird kind of concepts and like make it into like something. So like, oh, killer robots, that's a good idea. Like they probably saw RoboCop and were like, oh, that let's make that as a horror movie. And it does work. And I think again, first time I watched it a year ago, I was really pleasantly surprised. I was like, damn, I wish I would have like seen this sooner. This time, again, liked it a little less, but I do appreciate it for what it is. And they're definitely out of all of the horror movies I've seen in the 80's, like I've never seen a movie like this.
Yeah.
It's very different. And at some points it's not even necessarily a horror movie. It's kind of like again, it comes an action movie at some point with horror elements. So, I definitely appreciate it for what it is. Like I do recommend it. I'm gonna give it a lower rating than probably you this round, but doesn't mean I don't like it. So
That definitely an interesting take there. Is this a horror film? And it feels that way for me for
it's a horror
sure.
movie, but it's like
It
on the
has like
border.
it has those tropes, it has like the eight teens, the eight horny teens, and it's like, they are the kill bait, and there is a killer per se, which is, these robots. Definitely a lot of humor and camp in it, which again is very centric to horror films, like what I don't know what else you would call like a camp film. I don't know if I've ever seen a campy film that's not really a horror film. Like I don't know.
There's some sci-fi. There's some sci-fi
yeah,
campy movies, but like, oh, just really quick before I forget, this one trope that is in a lot of movies, not just horror movies, but I always hate it. Always annoys the shit out of me, and it's someone can't start a car, and someone just goes under the hood, touches one quick thing, and the car starts. And they do
car
it at the very beginning of
starts.
this movie. And it's so stupid, but it always annoys the shit out of me. Like, there's no switch that you could hit that a car is going to all of a sudden start that didn't start before.
So I'm going to tell you something.
There is a switch.
There is a switch,
Oh, shit.
but it's very, very, very old cars. So I people probably don't know this. I used to be a mechanic type person before I became this awesome guy
podcast
there. Yeah,
superstar.
that's raking in millions from like my bourbon money. Where I barely work an hour a day now. I just I do reposts on Instagram about bourbon. That's how I get my
Watch a
money.
couple of movies, and
Watch a
that's
couple
really
movies,
it.
that's it. But before then, I actually had to work. And what there is, and they touched on this just a little bit on Friday the 13th, part 4. Um, there is a solenoid in a car and it goes bad. And what you see when you open the hood of the car is just two posts. And a lot of times back then, that would break. There was a switch in there that would break. So all you had to do was make the connection between those two and it would start. So you could use a screwdriver, a knife, really
Okay.
anything
So it's not
that
a
was
trope. This is like how
not
you
a
can start
it's
a car.
real.
Okay, because every time I see
So
the
it was
movie, it pisses me off.
so
But
yeah.
okay.
As long as you have something that conducts electricity, you can. If that's the problem, if that is the problem with the
It's
car,
always the problem in
but
every
back
horror movie.
then, but back then it was like a cheap part. You know what I'm saying? So it was like something that would go bad. It was probably like a
Okay.
$5 part, but that's what starred your car. And if that thing went bad, there was a way around it. And it was just to touch those things. And it would literally take a second. And that's what they did in this film. That's what they did in Friday the 13th.
Okay.
So really interesting, but it's funny how it always goes bad and everyone always makes like it's a magic trick. So I get what you're saying.
It
That
always
is a,
annoys me,
that
but
is a
yeah.
trope, but people of that time should be super familiar with this issue with it. Like everyone, like just kind of like jumping, as familiar as you are with jumping a dead battery or changing a tire, you should be familiar with jumping out this solenoid because that was such a huge deal probably in the 70s and early 80s. So
All right. Well,
it
if I
was
find a time machine, now I know how to start a
you
car.
cannot do that with your car.
No.
So
I
there's
tried. I
there's no
tried.
way.
It doesn't help.
If you open up the hood of your car, dude, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Just shut it. You can't fix it.
Buy a new
Just shut
one.
it.
Buy a
Just
new one.
shut
My
it. Just
bourbon
buy a
money.
new one. There's no magic button underneath there for you for your car, unless you have a laptop. Like otherwise, you're not doing anything. But yeah, I thought that was funny. But like, what was really funny is that they both worked. They owned like this garage, and like the guy didn't know that
You
that
didn't know about the
was
solenoid. How do
he
you know?
didn't know about he did not know about it, but she did, and I thought that was funny. But yeah.
All right. So anyway, now that we got our automotive lesson, let's wrap
Listen,
this
this
one
show
up.
this show could be anything, dude. You get enough drinks in us, we could be talking about anything. We could be
Uh,
talking about like
I'll talk about
comets in a minute.
geometry next.
Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like I don't know what we're gonna talk about next. But
All right.
before we rate this, I do
Okay.
want to talk about the worst kill in this
Go
in
for it.
this entire film. And you might remember this. So it's that guy Rick, and he basically so he's the guy that couldn't start the car. Or is Rick is
He
it?
didn't know about the solenoid.
He
Yeah.
didn't know about the solenoid. For some reason, he jumps on like this really slow like cart machine,
Ugh.
and he's just like driving like 1 mile an hour, and he hits into the robot and it just explodes.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
it's like that was like the lamest like the why like
Especially
all
when
the
they're hitting these things with shotgun shells and nothing's happening. Like this is
but
what
like
blows it up.
but why would he sit on this thing? Like why would he kill himself? It was so stupid. The thing was literally going like 1 mile an hour. It was
It's
like
like
so
Austin Powers shit.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like Austin Powers. Exactly. That's what it was. He's like, here we go. I'm gonna get it. And then it just like, why would it explode? Why would he be sitting at like? I thought that was like the like kind of like the banana peel of all the kills. I'm like, that's a really lame way to kind of get him out of it, to get a robot out of it. I feel like they could have did something better. But outside of that, I think this is a very, very solid film.
All right. So what
And
do you rate it? 0 to 5.
thinking about all the other films of tonight, they all kind of stand on the same ground. 80s slasher, same kind of feeling towards all of them. Thinking about how I rated everything else, where does this one fall on this? Oh man, I really like this film.
I feel you.
I'm gonna get scary right now. I like it. I'm giving it a 4, man. Four bloody
Okay.
knives. I like this film, and I'm happy I discovered it a couple years ago. I'm going to keep watching it.
So originally I was going to give it a 2, but I do like it better than Intruder. I'm going to give it a 2.5. So we flipped again. 4 and
2.5.
2.5. So let's cheers to that.
Oh.
All right. And one more before we kind of
I'm
you
out.
ran out of bourbon?
No, I
was
did
gonna
not.
do one more quick thing. One more quick thing. Let's do this for 5 sips.
All right, let me pour a little heavier.
True or false? There are 8 kills in Chopping Mall.
Oh, I have no idea. 8 kills in Chopping Mall. That would be everyone. I'm going to say false. I'm just guessing here. I have no idea. I just know there's 8 characters, but that's all I know.
But two make it out, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
There are 9. There are 9. You got it right. So 5 is
Oh, wait. I got it right?
You got it right. You said false, right?
Yeah. Woo. Yes. Cheers. There's 9 kills in this movie. Wow.
According to what it is Googled. All right. So that was what?
The
there's
custodian.
A janitor,
the custodian. Yeah.
And there's probably one other that I'm just not thinking of right now. But yeah, anyway, so 9 kills according to Google, and that's it. That's our 2-part 80s drinking extravaganza. Hopefully you were drinking along with us and you're still here. If not, I don't know. I'm barely here.
I want to say sorry.
I'm not doing well right now. I'm not doing well.
But if you're not entertained, this is us, and we went over the top for you guys. So we're probably getting fired tomorrow from our jobs because it is actually a Monday night right now.
Yeah,
so and it's super late on the East Coast. So we did this for you. So because of that, if you guys could check out our videos, check out our Instagram, like what you like, save what you can save, share what you can, just help us out. It all helps. So we appreciate that. And we hope you guys had as fun as I guess as we had tonight. I don't even know if I had fun. I'll remember tomorrow.
My liver hurts. I don't know. But anyway, you can follow us on Instagram at horrorheadspodcast. Email us horrorheadspodcast@gmail.com. I have no idea what we're talking about next episode. I don't care. I need to go recover. That's it. Let's cheers. And happy totally 80s killer horror marathon. That was it. Good night.
Yeah, good night, everyone. I just want to say we got better at podcasting, but we got poorer at planning. So we'll see what the next episode is all about.
All right, peace.
Night.